All right, good morning, everybody. Let's move on to our 23rd day. We're reading the entries for January 23rd. So it's the first readings from Daily Reflections for Highly Effective People by Stephen R. Covey. And both readings today kind of hit home, hitting our personal, in our homes more than a lot of these do. So I'll just warn you. So Stephen writes for the 23rd, when two people in a marriage are more concerned about getting the golden eggs, the benefits, than they are in preserving the relationship that makes them possible, they often become insensitive and inconsiderate, neglecting the little kindnesses and courtesies so important to a deep relationship. They begin to use control levers to manipulate each other, to focus on their own needs, to justify their own position, and look for evidence to show the wrongness of the other person. The love, the richness, the softness, and spontaneity begin to deteriorate. The goose gets sicker day by day. So, he's clearly wrote this paragraph directly to married couples. I think for me, it's applicable to really any relationship in our lives. But what this says to me is stop trying to be right all the time. Stop trying to make the other person wrong all the time. And I've been married to Anne-Marie 30 years, and that's tough some days to realize it doesn't matter who's right or wrong, but to take care of a relationship by being kind and by being considerate and by serving the other person, particularly in our marriages, but in any relationship. And this is just a warning to be mindful of the kind of person you are in the relationship. That's what I take it to mean, and that's what I've tried to live by these last several years. And even through today, I try to serve Anne-Marie and my kids and not try to make me right and them wrong. But that's hard. That hits directly in our homes, and that can be hard sometimes to hear. All right, we'll go on to our second reading for the day, and it really, as always, comes to us from Napoleon Hill's Positive Action Plan. And for the 23rd, he writes, politeness usually begins at home, or it doesn't begin at all. Politeness to others is usually born out of respect for the individual, which you learn as a child. When you are treated with respect by other members of the family, you learn to respect them as well. The self-esteem that results from being recognized as a unique person by the people who matter most to you helps you develop the confidence necessary to succeed later in life. Politeness and consideration for others are habits that, once developed, usually stay with you for a lifetime. While common courtesy may seem relatively insignificant in the grand scheme of things, it is a reflection of more basic values. More important, if you develop the habit of respecting others, you are likely to command respect from them. So again, I find this a little eerie how interrelated these two readings are from different books written 50, 60 years apart. But again, I take this reading to mean, how am I treating others? Not how am I being treated. Not am I evaluating who's winning in the relationship, but how am I treating the other person in every situation, whether it be my wife Anne-Marie or my son or my daughter or the other members of my family or the people I come in contact on a daily basis. And this really is hard. It's really hard some of us have, I think, very strong egos, and I consider myself one of those. And I can become egotistical very easily, and I've fought for years to shove that aside. And I don't know if it'll ever go away. I don't think our egos ever completely disappear. But are we putting them in front of us? Are we putting our egos in front of us in every instance and with every relationship? Or are we being kind and considerate and compassionate to those we come in contact on a daily basis? That's how I take this. That's what I've tried to implement over the last several years. You may read it differently. It may speak to you differently. But for me, it's a foundational element of my life. How am I treating the person on the other side of this interaction? And trying to ask that before I wreck it, before I say something too harsh and ruin the opportunity to be kind. That's it. Thanks. Goodbye, everybody.